Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Gibson Show, and this is the first one of its kind. We've got ourselves a bit of a three-way. Yes, that's the way that I'm putting it for this interview. I am joined by Friendly Fire's Roth and PiXeL. Guys, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. PiXeL, what about you? It's good to have you finally on the interview.
I'm fine as well, yeah.
Yeah?
Kind of sleepy, but all good.
Any nerves? You're finally getting to talk to me after, so long. You nervous, worried?
Oh yeah. I was talking about this to Rod.
Yeah.
For quite a while. When was it? Like two weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he can't wait to meet you.
I was like, wait. Hey, Gibson messaged me, that he would like interview. I just want to go there, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to go there. Why can't I go alone? So I guess that's why we are three men.
It's going to be fun. Well, first off, as I said, I'm going to congratulate you guys for qualifying for PGS2. If you're watching this in a couple of weeks' time, PGS2 is all over. Massive congratulations on winning PGS2, I guess, what we'll say for those viewers at this point. But first off, what I want to say is, last time you and I spoke, Roth, you had a very different roster. You made a couple of changes. You went from 3NA and you had, obviously, Corsac coming in from EU. What was it about PiXeL and Paige that caught your eye and you wanted to bring the two boys from EU over?
I mean, we spent a lot of time, Sharp and I just, obviously, we lost Maji, and, Maji's coming as our sub to the event, so, we're just glad to have him around. I think he's a great addition to, bringing them as well, but we started with PiXeL. We just, replaced Maji with PiXeL, and PiXeL's just, from top to bottom, he's intelligent, he's funny, he's a great person to have on a team in any way. Whether you're having a hard day or an easy day, you're gonna laugh, right? He always has that good attitude. And then, obviously, we decided to move on from Corsac and bringing in Paige, which we didn't even know he was going to be an option. We found out through PiXeL. But Paige is just, the man has experience. He's second at Worlds, for PGC. And it's invaluable, the way, the things he brings and the way he can counter what I say in terms of, the balance that we have is, there's always an idea out there on our team with him. And he's just like PiXeL. He's insanely mechanically talented and just a smart guy. Yeah. Mega mind. Yeah,
well, he's pretty good too at the game. That helps as well. So this is where I want to go to you, PiXeL. Obviously, you played in Europe before this. Then you made the move to NA. What was it about moving to NA that kind of interested you? Because there's a couple of players that have played in different regions, but not as many as maybe you would like. Why did you go to North America?
Well, I'll keep it simple. Just because NA is simple and easy. No.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
Hey, it's just EU over NA, right? Let's be honest. It's been proven in the qualifiers. It's been proven in the finals. It was the EU dogs carrying. So, no. I honestly didn't have any other offer that would be PGS worthy, So... That's the main reason. I just didn't have any other option.
We were his last choice. It's great to hear.
Yeah, I was literally just I was beating myself while sleeping. I was like, please, just no NA, just anything else, but not NA. And it is what it is.
And PiXeL, obviously, is it you Central European time or are you Central European +1? Yes. So obviously, practicing games for you starting at 1 a.m. as well. Is it difficult for you personally starting to play competitive games at that time of night?
It was definitely a struggle, let's say, in the first weeks. But I was kind of always on the bad schedule, more to the NA schedule than EU, even when I was playing EU. And that's why I was okay with it. But even when I was just actively playing in EU, I was always subbing for NA teams. When needed, I was mixing with NA teams. And the only problem I can definitely see is if you wake up during the day, there's 30 degrees outside, 20, around maybe 30 inside the room as well. How the fuck are you supposed to fall asleep? It's impossible. But that's the only struggle, I would say.
It's a warm 15 Celsius here in Ireland, so we don't know anything about that heat wave that you guys in Europe are having. Roth, one of the first ever interactions I had with PiXeL, and I don't even know if PiXeL remembers, but there was another EU caster who used to work at Tier 1, the highest level, and he used to call PiXeL PiXeLic. Always called him PiXeLic. So PiXeL went and changed his name. on the actual event server to Pixel Lick so that he would keep calling it.
And so it begins the origin story. There you go.
That's how you start the villains, you know? You mispronounce their names.
I'm Irish.
That's
Trust
funny.
me. C casting, like, and the Americas. Once all of the Americas get involved, and you've got LATAM teams coming in as well, and I'm just looking at these names, going, right. I hope.
What are you supposed to do?
I hope their families are not watching because they are going to kill me. They're going to go crazy. And there's a couple of players, you know. There's a few guys on Fiumba and 00 Nation where I get their names wrong all the time. Capitan's good though. I can say his name fine. So.
Yeah.
So let's talk about PGS then. You guys made what can only be described as a miraculous run on the final day. You know, the first day started, 00 Nation, Luminosity, and Fiumba were the three teams that are ahead of the pack. Not going to talk about Sonics because obviously they had already got a ticket stamped. For them, it was only about, you know, getting more points to try qualify for PGC. But what was the mindset going into that Sunday? Because the last time I remember a team making a run like that on one day was probably Gas Cans whenever Greg Shot and the boys put up a 100-point day. Was it on like day 1 or 2 of one of the Americas events? So what was the mindset, Roth?
I think for us, like, you know, you and I have had a couple conversations. We're pretty confident, especially, you know, Sharp and I have done it before. So there's never the doubt that we can do it again. We knew that it was going to be a tall order, that like it wasn't going to be easy. We were down 33 points going into the final day. But I basically just kept trying to reassure everybody that like all we need is one game. All we need is one game just to get the ball rolling. And once the ball starts rolling, like, you know, momentum will carry you the rest of the way. So we have a great coach. Gobang is like always there, you know, reminding us of who we are and how we got to where we are. Because I think if you forget those things, then you're never going to be able to succeed when the pressure's on the most. You got to like really take it day by day and like assess what to improve on. But the most important thing at all of it is just the confidence of it. If you believe and you start to see it happen, you know, for us, we know we're talented. We know that we have all the mechanical talent in the world. We know how to play in the circles, but sometimes you just get in your own head. And so you just got to stay confident.
And for you, Pixel, obviously I know that you're a player that likes to play aggressively. You know, even when I got to cover Cast Uni EU a few times, you always kind of ran, you know, you ran first, asked questions later. And that's kind of what Roth enjoys a little bit as an IGL. How did it feel for you and Paige going into this team and just being unleashed? You know, just Roth saying, take as much map control as you can and just trust yourself.
Well, first of all, it's always a struggle, right, in the team to balance this out, because sometimes people just want to push their ideas so much that it leaves the others. But once we were given the freedom, especially in the like last days when we decided to go fight, stop with some of the sense, but actually if we see people in front of us, just gonna take angles as many as we can. We're gonna kill them. So once we were given the freedom, it was really nice. It was nice to play the game, you know. That's the main thing. That's the difference between the first day and the last day. We got to play the game. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed each other, and suddenly it was a different vibe.
And looking forward to PGS2 then, the finals, do you feel like you've got a point to prove to some of the EU teams? Like, are you going into this event particularly looking to make a name for yourself, or are you fully focused on just friendly fire and doing as well as you can as a team?
No, the only thing I care about is, well, proving myself. Not to anyone else, just like I want to prove myself that I can do it. And yeah, then just focus on our results. Nothing else matters. Let's be honest.
Right. So, do you guys know anything about PGS2 and Gamers 8? Like, what do you guys actually know about this event?
Me, you.
Either. I want to hear both of you. I want to know what you think.
You know, we know they ran one last year. We know how big Saudi is on trying to grow esports as a whole. So we know how big the festival is. You know, I'm on Twitch all the time. I see the other games. I see what's going on. It's a pretty big thing, to be honest. You know, I would say outside of our world events at the end of the year, it's the closest thing you're going to get to having another world championship in a way, because that's how big they're trying to make it.
What about you, Pixel? Do you know anything about the event going in, or are you kind of going in blind?
I mean, All I know it's a big event.
Mm-hmm.
We qualified. It's in Saudi. That's all that matters.
Right. So I worked the event last year for Siege. I was over. I was in Riyadh. Stayed in the hotel. Was out there for I think 5 or 6 days. You guys are going to love it. Like, I mean, you'll never get treated the way you are, or the way that you will be when you go there. Like, all the players that have gone to this event have got a welcome pack, and there's Ray-Bans in the welcome pack. There's a Razer Death Adder custom mouse in the welcome pack that I've seen. Everybody's getting their own little personal welcome card that talks about their journey and how they got there. Honestly, the hospitality is second to none. If you're staying in the same hotel we were in, it's 5-star, swimming pool on the roof, all you can eat food all the time. Like, I mean, we were having steak for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, I mean, it was like nothing I've ever seen. They have a barber on the site so people can get fresh trims, fresh cuts, shaves, the whole lot. And Riyadh Boulevard itself, the actual place where the venue is, picture Times Square, and it's kind of like that, but it's all gaming. So you've got a couple of shops, couple of nice places to eat, but it's all for Gamers 8. You've got a massive streamer's house. You've got like haunted houses, the whole lot. And the stadium itself, I don't think you guys will ever see as a stage like it in PUBG. Like, genuinely, if I were you, I'd be so excited to get out there.
Oh, we are. We can't wait.
You mean in a size or like unique design?
Unique design.
When it comes to the stage.
Unique design.
Oh.
So obviously, I think the whole audience is not going to be big yet because, again, people are getting used to the event. It'll take a couple of years, I think, before they get proper big audiences like at majors and grand finals. But the stage and the way it's going to look, you guys will have a fantastic time. And if I'm not wrong, I think it's just PUBG and maybe one other title on that week as well. So you'll have like so much attention your way.
Oh, the spotlight.
All I'm going to say is there's a fountain in the middle of the Riyadh Boulevard. And even though PUBG wasn't there last year, PUBG Mobile was, they had a massive statue of PlayerUnknown. Like, they had the full statue of PlayerUnknown. It's going to be good. My advice is enjoy every single minute that you're out there and take advantage of everything that's offered, because you might never get this chance again.
Yeah, I mean, we know for... Jesus, I fucked my camera up. But we're going back. We're coming back. I need to scoot back in. I've completely screwed this up. But we're back. All right. But we know that, like, from like watching it and like having some of the talks we had with the people that obviously I've talked to you a little bit about it. You know, you've made it very clear how big it is, and you know, we've talked about it before we even had this interview. And for me, it's just it's not just like an opportunity to be, you know, great at what we do. It's an opportunity for all of us to network as well. Like, this is something that I think in the future is going to be massive for esports. Is going to these events, and I've heard rumors that hopefully Crafton's back next year. So like, if we can take this team we have and build it into what we know we're capable of, like, it's an opportunity to put yourself on a bigger market as well.
I'm hoping the same. Look, Kilaris, as far as I know, Kilaris is out there for PUBG Mobile, for the 2 PUBG Mobile events, and he probably is going to be out there again for PUBG. All I'm going to say without talking rates is 3 weeks out there as a caster, and you're living, you know, you're
living life. You're
having a good time. I didn't get to attend it this year in person. I worked remote, but I'm hoping that maybe by next year, PUBG might give me the chance. So Crafton, if you're watching, hire me. That's all I'm going to say. So PiXeL, for you, obviously, you've got going out there, new rivalries, old rivalries that you're getting to rekindle. Any players that you're looking to cross paths with again?
I would love to see Wad there, but football is unfortunate to make it. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to Dog, Roth, and Sharpshot. It's friendly. We're a friendly fire, right? So
yeah.
I'm gonna have to pen them at least once or twice in a game.
Yeah.
We better be winning first. Better be a 4v1.
If you're gonna be on the bottom, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. This will be your first time together as a team, right? You haven't met up.
Yes.
Have you thought about Roth maybe getting your flight out a bit earlier, meeting up with PiXeL, or have you thought about any form of a little mini boot camp or anything like that?
Unfortunately, like like the way the hotel situation works is from what we found out from Crafton is like, you know, it's booked for a certain time to time. So we obviously can't get out there a little earlier. We would love to, just because I think it's super important to have that chemistry and have that. Fortunately for us, like I know my best friend, his girlfriend is from Riyadh. So she has a lot of things that, you know, we can get out and go do and explore, and she's going to let us know all that. So I'm just going to, you know, try to get us out as often as we can to have some bonding. And PiXeL's obviously PiXeL, so I'm sure we'll do a lot of bonding.
Oh yeah, we will.
So PiXeL, you were complaining like a little while ago about it being 30 degrees outside. You know, in Riyadh, it's going to be like 50. It's going to be like twice as warm.
I've been already mentally preparing myself. So, I mean, I'm still not ready. Let's be honest. I'm not ready at all. But hey, if they're gonna be at least one day with 40 degrees, I might survive.
Right.
But I'm definitely not looking forward for the heat.
It's pretty sure it's the whole time.
Hear me out.
I need one day sub, you know?
Yeah.
Sub 40. Not over.
All I'm going to say is there's the pool on the rooftop of the hotel. You guys, if it gets too hot, you've got a swimming pool, you've got a gym, you've got a hot tub, which is indoors in an air-conditioned room. Don't worry, you're not going to get in a hot tub when it's already 50 degrees outside. But it'll be a good time. Trust me, it'll be something you're looking forward to. So, looking at PGS2 then, where do you guys... So I want to know where you would put yourself on a bad day and where you think you guys are on your best day. So, you know, kind of a ceiling and a floor ceiling scenario. What do you think? Where do you think you compete with the rest of the teams at that event when you're on like one of your average days?
I think if you look at our roster from a paper standpoint, I think we can compete with anybody, right? I think the fact that we don't have as much time as some other teams is obviously very not detrimental, because you know everyone has to overcome that at some point. You know, we wish we would have been, if we could have been together 2 years ago and had 2 years under our belt, we would. But I think the growth from PGS to or the quals is really good for us. I think it's something that's going to make us more consistent, because I think we're finding our identity as a team, and I think we needed that slow start to really find how we wanted to push. You have to go through stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't think from an international standpoint we have a lot of experience. We have me, Sharp, Paige, PiXeL's been a sub for multiple teams, you know, and he deserves to be on one of those teams that was there as well. So like, honestly, like I don't see us on our bad days really having anything less than like, you know, an average day. But the sky's the limit. I mean, if we come out and we play, you know, we play our situations right, we have the fragging power to run through any team out there. So, you know, I could see us winning, and I could see us being consistent and placing in the middle of the pack. But yeah, yeah, I don't really see us being last.
I think it's a big event for the Americas, because at the, you know, last year there was a lot of, I'm going to say, banter from the rest of the world, kind of saying that NA was the worst region and, you know, Americas were the worst region. But then, you know, the likes of Luminosity and Sonic started putting in good performances again. PGC came around, and even the likes of Gas Cans, who were playing under Wildcard, put in some really good days. I feel like this is a big event for Americas to kind of remind everybody that you guys are back, because I think from a viewer standpoint, we spoke about this, there's probably 7 teams in America that could have competed and, you know, played pretty well out there. But for you, PiXeL, I want to know, looking at your group, are there any teams there that you're worried about, or do you just think that, you know, we can roll them? On our day, we're going to roll anybody.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna have to have a look on the groups.
Roth does not look
happy. Imagine not studying by now. That's crazy. I'm just kidding. I don't know if a team was.
Honestly, I would be more scared of the unpredictable teams. So definitely not Sonics. Maybe a little bit of Genji. I don't know how they play now. I haven't watched any streams from Paperton this year, so no idea what's happening there. But question mark, Sonics, obviously us, like that would be predictable teams. Danava as well. I would say E-Arena or Day Trade.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like sometimes Day Trade just does this little sneaky play, you know, that you just
they
don't
are.
See
They're very.
and you don't want to be the one getting sneaked on. You just don't. You hate it every time it happens.
Better than Brew being there, bro. If Buran was there, we're fighting on edge every game, baby.
In Blue Zone, you have dinner packs.
look, you guys play against Oldless all the time in scrims. You guys don't need any practice for expecting the unexpected. Let's be real. But looking at the event itself and looking at the drops from a lot of these teams, do you guys think that there's going to be much of a battle for your drops going into the event, or do you think that, without telling us where they are, you don't have to tell us where this early, but early signs, do you think that there's going to be teams looking to contest you, or do you think that you'll get away with it?
I mean, so far, obviously we have a Discord, all the teams, they mark, everyone lets everybody know.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but it looks like we've scared one away, so we'll leave it at that.
Okay, I have an update.
Yeah.
The team just left.
Yeah.
They took one before this interview.
Yeah. Took one game of scrims, and they're like, you know what, man, we don't want to deal with Pixel anymore. That guy's crazy.
Yeah.
So
they're like, he's dying 24/7, and you don't want to handle him.
I think what you're supposed to say, Pixel, is this guy's not afraid to die. That's the way they're looking at it. This guy's not afraid.
Okay, yeah, he's not afraid to die because he's just on the bicicleta, flying around the map, dying. But
as for
they just left so good.
Yeah. As for the rest of it, I mean, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna, at the end of the day, I'm not a big believer from like an IGL standpoint of fighting in events. But we will if it's something that we deem is worth it. It's a long event. You have a winner. You have a winner's bracket, a loser's bracket. We're not scared of being in any of those positions because we're confident that we can overcome any type of obstacle. So whether it comes to fighting for our spots or whether there's another option available to us that we deem worth going, if we deem it worth going, we'll leave and we'll go there instead. I think with the amount of experience we have on this team, we can play from anywhere. So
yeah. So here's the thing, right? The way the friendly fire play, especially in like phase 1, 2, and 3, is you guys like to take a lot of space. You have teams who do the traditional 2-2 split where you know exactly where they're going to be. You're going to have 2 people in this compound, 2 in that, and the minute the zone goes either way, they're going to collapse into a 4. Whereas you guys kind of play every map as it is and every zone as it is, so you'll take your 2-2 split. Sometimes you'll even take a 2-1-1. It's something that you trust your team to do. With that being the case, and with you playing in an international event, how much study do you and the likes of GoBang do onto the kind of rotates that teams kind of take? Because obviously knowing early on in your head where you think teams are going to go based on their drops will have a big impact on what way you're going to play as well. How much does that factor in?
You want to get this one or me?
I want both of you. I want both of you to go in.
I'll take it. So, for example, the timings, I always see there's a problem because once you're gonna have 4 different regions merging into one tournament. One team gonna be playing quick from, let's say, Pecado, and a team plays slow. So all the teams around have to adjust, and suddenly you have all those 4 different teams or like the regions meshing into one tournament with different timings, with different rotations, and I feel like they're gonna be first 2 games of each lobby total monka. Just people gonna be drive-bying each other, flying into each other rotations, just because they're gonna try to also adjust. You adjust to what others doing, but suddenly you find another team doing the same. So yeah, not fun. But for example, the study definitely gonna help. But I feel like till the first game hits, or the first 2, I would say at least, we cannot tell like how we gonna move or how others gonna move, because everyone's just gonna try to adjust as best they can.
Yeah, and I think for me, like, we've done a lot of that in the past, and like just playing direct, like he says, because there is going to be a lot of chaos, because there is always this type of just no one knows exactly. We don't really get a lot of scrims together, which kind of is obviously, with PGIS and the first PGC we did, because you had the quarantine, so everyone had their PCs, well, kind of had PCs in the quarantine, and so we would do our best to scrim, and we were able to get a little bit more of how they were going to play, but with like internationals, you just got to be really direct. You got to scout, you got to get good info, you have to play what you know, and kind of try to form a story, or like, of what that team might do. Like, okay, it's this circle, what would we do in their shoes, and what makes the most sense, and then try to scout it to the best of your ability. Obviously, some teams value different things. Sometimes they'll do crazy shit, but you can't be there and you can't go, oh man, why did they do this? It's at this point of the game, like, anyone can do anything. Anyone could try anything. They could rotate campy for all you know. You just got to scout. You got a caravan, and just be on your P's and Q's.
Well, the thing is, some of the best teams in the world are probably some of the most predictable ones as well. When you look at it this way, like when I watch It's like, for example, whenever I watch NA, I know based on the first phase where I can expect Sonics to be. I know where I can expect Luminosity to be. Whenever it's in Europe, it's the exact same way around. Like, I know they didn't make it, but you know exactly where Foot are going to be. You know where Twisted Minds are likely going to be. With Batulins, you probably know exactly where he's going to be on Miramar at any point.
You never know.
I'm going to just go hazard a guess. Going to be on top of a hill over by Crater Fields, looking around the rest of the map. But it's and that's not a bad thing either. You know, it's a good thing because I think a lot of these teams, they earn respect as well. So even though people know where they are, they're not going to go looking for that fight because they're like, yeah, we're not going to crash it. And I think one of the things that Friendly Fire have got in your favor now is I think teams don't like it whenever that you start fighting them because they know that you guys, once you get that first knock or two, you're going to push. Because when you watch other fights, there's teams that are happy to just trade knocks back and forward, compound to compound. But with you guys, it's like, yeah, we've got a knock. Let's go clean them up because that's 3 points for us if we win. So it's something I'm looking forward to seeing because I do think that you guys play a fun style and it'll be really good to watch on the big stage. But I want to move on now to PNC. So obviously there's, what's the best way to put this? There's a bit of scandal or a bit of complaints going around at how every single region seems to have picked their teams differently, right? So for example, I think we've always got one team already that's 3 Danawa players. So it's basically the Danawa roster going into an event and they're going to have so much chemistry already playing with each other a lot. Then you have, you know, there's people talking about the Team UK as well because they won the event last year and then they've made changes as well based on how they picked on performance. NA was different. OCE was based on performance as well. I'm going to go to you first, Pixel. Do you think it's fair that all these regions have different criteria for picking their teams, or do you think it should be uniform across the globe?
It definitely should be uniform. First of all, even though it can be categorized as a fun tournament, but there's still money involved. They pick the best players, and it has to be for a reason. Like, it cannot be just, oh, we're gonna pick best players because, I don't know, we want to. No, they want the best competition, but the teams to be made out of based on the nations. Then to see like 3 Danawa players in the same team, Danawa coach, and if I'm correct, they can take a sub as well, right? Yeah. They usually have a sub and coach. Imagine if they have a Danawa sub, and they just say, Heaven is sick, unlucky. It sucks, but we're gonna have to play as a full Danawa. I know, right? Yeah. Bummer.
Boomer.
I'm the only boomer here. I'm the only boomer here, guys. And then
I'm getting pretty close according to my guys, so don't worry about it.
I think Roth is the one.
So then, like, with you, Roth, obviously, like, last year, I think there was a community vote, wasn't there, for one of the players on NA, the way that they did it?
Two.
Yeah. So with you, what do you think the best way that a PNC team should be picked? Should it be picked by the players? Should it be picked by the coaches? Should it be performance-based? Like, how do you think a team should be done?
I think in any normal scenario like this, in any sport, it should be uniform, obviously. I don't think it's fair to sit here and go, well, NA's voted this way, OS is voted this way, and then Danawa's just 4 committee votes, or, you know, because who's on the committee? The problem is it's not open knowledge, right? You know, we even have our own factor in NA to value the MVPs of each event, but we don't know the formula for the MVP. We just know it's some formula. You know, we've been told, hey, it's some system, and listen, it is what it is. I don't think that system's wrong because Kick and Snakers are arguably 2 of the best players in North America. But everything should be open knowledge with things like this because, like Pixel said, it is for money. It is not just a for fun event. You know, these are people's lives, their careers. They're given an opportunity. And for the people that didn't get to go, they would like to know, hey, why didn't I get selected? What could I do better to improve on next year to have a better chance? And for like Danawa, like, who voted for 3 people, and why are they allowed 3 of the same team, and when everyone else is allowed 2? So it is a completely unfair advantage. I'm not gonna ever hold back how I feel about that. I think PUBG's completely in the wrong. I don't think there's an excuse at all. There's no legit reason you can give me that goes, oh, hey, this is why it is what it is. Because I'm sorry, there's other people. There's a lot of Korean players. You know. As for the UK team, you know, I think there's a lot of people like, hey, where's Michael? What's Michael? I think that from a UK standpoint, they won last year. They should have the opportunity to have the same team just because they won. I think that's just like kind of a normal thing. Like if you think about how those things work. But you know, to his credit, Honey Badger qualified for events. Michael didn't. Now that's a team game. You know, that's not saying Michael's better, worse. Who knows? You know, it's impossible to tell those things. But yeah, it's weird. Everything should be the same. When it's not the same, it's not fair.
Yeah, I think when you look at most of the bigger regions, there's not much between the 4 players that are going and say the next 10 that didn't make it. You know, you're talking fine margins. And again, I think my preferred way to do it would be if you had the coaches from, say, the 5 statistically best teams last year. Those coaches pick their team. You can't put it on one coach because then they'll be like, oh, no, you know yourself, Roth. Say if Gobang was picking the team and he didn't pick Sharp. Sharp be like, you know, I play for you.
Why didn't you pick me? Yeah.
So I think it should be like a committee of coaches that pick the team. But again, I think it's one of the more fun events. Like, to me, PNC is a great one because you bring national pride into the side of things. It's another opportunity for players to make money. It's another PUBG event. It's something to fill the calendar. And I think PUBG is severely lacking right now with the calendar. So this is what I want to ask you, these questions. I'm going to go to you first, Pixel. I want you to tell me what you think is maybe slowing the growth of PUBG right now. Because when you look, you know, we've got less events than we used to have. Viewership's okay. It's been better, it's been worse. But why do you think that performance hasn't been, or there haven't been as many events, or what do you think is the driving factor?
For the reason why everything, I feel like it's going downhill slightly. And the reason is simple, PUBG. I hope you're watching. It's you. No, but I've just seen a clip from Fuzzface today where he's also talking about just the names being different every year. The systems being different every year. Suddenly, not only point system, tie breaks, everything. Qualifiers for awards are just not only they are different at the start of the year when they released what is it called, roadmap for the year, but they also change it middle of the year. How the hell, as a casual fan, am I supposed to like be following this? They don't even announce it. They just say, hey, there's a tournament. Suddenly there are some points. No one besides the players is going to study the rulebook. Like, why the hell me as a just, I don't know, some casual fan who wants to tune in when there's a tournament, should I be going through 70 pages and be checking what's new? So that's like one of the first reasons. Second of all, I feel like there should be leagues. It's easier to build a habit to watch PUBG, to watch any tournament or like any esport, any sport, if there is just a schedule. If you know, it's Monday, it's 6 p.m., let's watch some PUBG. You're going to build a habit, you're going to do it on a daily basis, or not daily basis, but like Monday basis, It's harder when you have one tournament, or like 1 week over a weekend, or actually, it's not even week, it's 1 weekend of a tournament in 3 months. Then there's 3 months of silence. There's PNC for 3 days, silence. And suddenly, ooh, we have PGC.
Yeah.
You don't even know who qualified because it was 6 months ago, the last tournament you saw.
So then, with that, Pixel, what would you change? If you obviously spoke about leagues. If you were to set up a league, how would you put the importance on it? So would you have qualifier spots for major tournaments based on league performance? Would it solely be based, would it be a financial gain? What would the league format that you would like to see bring?
I wouldn't only start with the league. I would go back to the PCS format that was back in 2020, 2021. No WWCD though.
Yeah.
Don't bring that shit. But 2020 format was awesome. Just we need more tournaments instead of the prize pool. We had like 200k each of the tournaments, and we had 3 of them in a year, or like 2 of them, and then we have 2 third-party tournaments. Why don't we have like in total 7-8 tournaments with less prize pool? They can always use pick'em. Let's say they decrease the prize pool this year just because, well, it would be more costly, right?
Yeah.
Where is the pick'ems? There is not a single pick'em besides PGC. Like, why? I just don't understand that. So first of all, I would start with the more PCS tournaments. I would put the PGC qualifiers points there. Then the teams can play for money, also practice. It can create second tier lobby or like a secondary league as well. if there's enough teams in the region. It can help the community to grow, not only the players but the fans as well. And it's not like you're gonna have the PCS every month, so you can always fit the league there. You can have 3 leagues, and they're gonna always fit in between the PCS tournaments. Instead of playing scrims for 3 months, let's put a league there. It doesn't have to be 200k prize pool. Give us 50. Jesus Christ, we are playing for free. Give us anything, right?
Yeah.
Just to keep the level kind of high. So I don't know, 10k, 20k. That would be more than enough.
So following on from that then, Roth, do you think that format as well will be better because there's a whole rigmarole all around the world about scrims, and the whole idea that phase 1 teams kind of get protection on rotates, unless you purposely say that you're going to hot drop a team, you kind of are not allowed to do it, and teams get protection. I know in NA, and I think in EU as well, teams that are like qualified for international events get protection on their drops that they can't get hot dropped. Do you think that it would increase the skill level of all the players globally if there was something on more often and teams did have to battle it out in phase 1 and didn't have those creature comforts that they get in scrims?
Well, it's kind of like I told you earlier. For us, the only chance we had to grow as a team was you can grow in scrims. Sure, you can learn in scrims, but pressure is what makes you or breaks you as a team, right? So we spent 3 months practicing to finally get to a grand final. That okay, wow, I didn't know you were going to react to this scenario this way because I've never seen you under pressure, right? So you can't make a team and you can't forge your way as a team without these pressure scenarios, and we don't have any of them. We have one every 3 months, every 4 months, right? And as the viewers, you have one big event every 3 months, 4 months. I think the league format would be really good. I think that just having anything in place, you can have it run through the middle of the week. If you have it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it doesn't have to be every day, but something to slot to give the viewers something to watch that's not just the same old scrims, the same old thing every time, and something to give the players something to play. I mean, I didn't qualify a lot for any internationals the last year and a half, 2 years. I sat there. I know how long these breaks are in between. They are exhausting. You play scrims every day just to get to another set of scrims next week.
And with that, following it on from that point, do you guys think that PCS and events like that should be 32 teams? Do you think that it should be 2 separate lobbies, more teams should qualify and get the opportunity to play? Or do you like the 8-8-8 24-team format? I'll go to you first, Roth, this time.
The problem is at this point, it depends on your region, really. PUBG has done such a terrible job stabilizing regions other than Asia. And I get it. They've had the biggest player base for the longest time, but there was a point EU had a lot of players and they still have a good amount of teams that try. And there was a point when NA had 128 teams that tried to qualify. But the issue was they didn't care. They didn't care about stabilizing any region but Asia, and that has hurt their esport as a whole and hurt their game. There is no source of income really, except for your top teams through North America, because there's nobody that plays the game anymore. There's no one that wants to put that money in. So when they look, of course, now when they look at their numbers, they're like, oh, well, Asia makes us all our money. Well, you created that. You made that foundation the way that it is because you put all your money into it. But if you had, it comes down to the little things. They didn't take time to improve the quality. All these modes that come out now, they're 3 years old. They should have been 3 years ago. There should have been things that kept people's interest in the game throughout the course of time, and it's been too slow. We know you play. Everyone on here is EU NA. They're short people's span with games, especially in the West, is much smaller. So you have to give them something to build on and something to look forward to, and that never came. And so of course you lost your teams, and now that you've lost your teams, you lose your tournaments. But they've shown, we can have this argument today, they've shown they don't care about any other region but Asia. So we're basically we're that meme. We're yelling at a brick wall. We're hoping that the brick wall responds, but they don't ever respond.
Yeah. What about you, PiXeL? Do you think 32 teams would be a better idea for these events and give more teams the opportunity to qualify?
In EU, yes, definitely. I mean, I remember days when it was still separated into 3 different regions. It was West, then we had the CIS, and then we had Turkey as a region for the qualifiers. West alone had 500 teams. I don't think EU as a inter-region can fit or get 500 teams right now, but top 32 could be still decent. not only like to watch, but for the players. Again, it gonna support the player grow.
Yeah.
They just will be able to improve. They'll be able to, match up with the top dogs. It's really hard to match up with them when you have 5 games to improve. And during the 5 games, you also need to be top 8.
Yeah.
And there's 6 of them, So there's 2 spots for other like insanely talented teams. In NA, I'm sorry to say, but it's too late. Like NA, unless they decide to support the region and somehow get not the current community, but like if they just get new players into the game, new competitive players, maybe they can make 32 lobbies. But right now it will be just open qualifier, and I don't think it will be watchable.
I mean, I don't even think. Sorry to cut you off. I don't even think we get 32 teams on an open qualifier half the time. I'm pretty sure we struggle to have a round of 64. And so now you either need to combine. The best solution for this right now is making SA and NA start together from the start. The truth is, having a split lobby and then combining them for one final every 4 months makes no sense. Let us fight each other throughout the course of a qualifier. Honestly, even let Sonics, because they're a global partner team, let them have their immediate qual to the whether it's the group stage or whatever, but make everybody else fight. Like the fact that like we have to alter drop spots or do things on a 4-day basis right before a final is ridiculous. Give us opportunities throughout the year to like duke it out with these other teams, earn your respect, earn your spots. So it's not some weird pride thing coming into 4 days before an event. It would be okay, this team has wiped us for fucking 3 weeks. We don't want to fight them anymore. But the problem is we have 2 days of scrims and they're like, well, I'm going to be more stubborn than the other team. And so it's like, it's just ridiculous at this point. You don't give us anything, and you like, we can sit there, I'm a little frustrated now because we're venting about it. But the frustration will die the second I leave this call.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is I know I'm not going to get anything out of it. There's nothing that's going to come out of it because they're not going to change it. They're not even competent enough, to be honest, to have every rule be the same on any region. You have EU with coaches sitting in the 5th slot. You have NA now with a coach in the 5th slot, but they can't talk, but EU can still talk. And then you have, or EU couldn't talk, but it was announced 1 hour before the event. So they're sorry about that. Like, let's have EU practice for years, talking to their team and helping their team with kill feed. But we're not going to tell them we're going to switch it. But 35 minutes before your event, hey, your coach can't talk today. Like, those things are what drive the player base insane. They're what cause, player bases to dwindle. And they show that they don't care about anything but themselves. And that's just going to keep people from coming back.
Yeah. Well, I think...
Yeah, continue.
No, go ahead, PiXeL.
Okay, so like one of the problems I definitely see for a newcomer, let's say I would just start playing PUBG today. I love the game, I love the game mechanics, and I'm kind of sick at the game. Well, the moment I turn into any esport player, all I hear is, well, they don't listen to us. They don't care. This sucks. They are changing this last minute. How am I supposed to be motivated to put the hours in when all I hear from the streamers? Because let's be honest, like most of us streamers streaming PUBG right now are esport players. I would say like 70 to or like 80% of the top dogs are literally just esport players or ex-esport players. So you're always gonna turn there. You wanna see the best gameplay. You wanna all of them have a personality as well, right? That's why you're gonna go to Tickleson if you wanna have fun. If you wanna go for the hyperactive, you're gonna go to Fastface if you wanna chill, but still see people fragging. But one thing is in common. People just gonna talk shit about PUBG. And it's not only like bad for the new players, but it's also for fans. Like, how are you supposed to go and watch the game when you know that the moment the games end and the streamer starts the stream, he's gonna be talking shit about the tournament, that something went wrong? How are you supposed to even go and watch the tournament when you know, oh, they're gonna be 1 hour break?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird.
So I think, to give my opinion on this, obviously I work multiple games. I work Valorant, Siege, and PUBG with different levels of success. In Siege, I'm working at tier 1, the highest level, loving the opportunities I'm getting. At Valorant, I've worked some tier 2 stuff in Europe, but in PUBG, myself, I feel like I'm kind of lost. Scrims is the only opportunity that you get. I know historically they said that you have to be working tier 2 events to get tier 1 events in PUBG. But there is no tier 2 events, and the tier 2 events are worked by the tier 1 talents. So there's no real... For casters, there's no opportunity to grow. And I think we've got some really good ones coming through. Obviously, Elite works his ass off in EU. I think I give a lot of to Bard. Bard's doing a lot of work in NA as of late. You know, we make sure that there's always something going. I do my best whenever I get the opportunity as well. But the big thing that stands out to me is the viewership is there for scrims. Like, whenever I'm covering scrims, you know, you're talking 400 to 800 viewers, depending on the night, depending on who's playing.
Mm-hmm.
But this is practice. This is 400 to 800 people just watching practice, right? You've probably got another 800 players watching players' POVs if a player's streaming. You know, if Tiggleton decides to stream his POV, I know Sharpshot gets, 50 to 100 viewers when he streams his POV. So in NA, you're talking 1,000 viewers. In EU, you're probably talking 1,500 between the 800 watching the main scrim and then the players' POVs as well. So there is enough interest there from the fan base that you could run a league. And if you ran it one night a week, 2 nights a week, 6 to 1K viewers, you're going to get a sponsor. Someone's going to say, you know what, I like them numbers. Give me a sponsor, put my logo up in the bottom, right? There's your sponsor. You get your casters involved, you pay them, minimal something. It's better than getting nothing for scrims. And you say, right, you're casting it. It's not in your channel anymore. We're going to put it on a centralized channel, whether it's a PUBG NA or a, PUBG EU. This is where I'm going to give Otto and Zenny a lot of credit for setting up, Vicurvi and the NA equivalent. But there is interest there. And you see yourself, players, if there's a little bit of money on the line, even if it's $100 or €100 a night, they're like, yeah, let's go. Try get us 20 quid each. It'll buy us a beer. It'll buy us a coffee. It'll buy us a pizza. I think the viewership is there. We just have to convince the right people to listen, to allow us to just test it. Minimal budget. Don't put in a big budget. Just say, look, let's just try and see if we can get something going. Run it 2 months on, 1 month off. Like, take a month off whenever the big events are on. So when PGS open qual start, take that month off. When PGS is on, when PGC is on, when PCS, when those are on, you take your break, but you run this in the off season. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's a good idea. And like I said, you could get 1,000 viewers consistently if you know it's going to be on every week.
And you're 100% right. And like, the league would be amazing. It would be awesome. The issue is I hear keywords from you like listen or convince or these things that we've been trying to do we've been trying to do this for years, man. Like, and at some point it's just like, we're the ones sitting here trying to build plans for ourselves. In other esports, their esport is building the plan for them. They're trying to find ways to make it profitable. Whether you talk about like skins, look at R6. R6 has skins for multiple orgs, that circulate money through for their players, for themselves, for whatever, right? You look at even Apex. If I go on Apex, like in Apex has that. You have all these different things, League, whatever you want. They're all profitable because they find a system that is circulating. It circulates viewership, funds, things like that. Whereas PUBG is like a flat line. And with a little bump, it's like a little heartbeat, every once in a while you get a big spike. And the problem is at some point, it can't be the players trying to resuscitate that. It can't be the players trying to build that, because if you're in that spot, you're already lost. It needs to be PUBG at some point coming to you and going, hey, Gibson, will you do this league for us? Hey, Roth, PiXeL, will you guys be a part of this league for us? Can we get you an organization that will support you? Like, these things, they don't do. And it's never going to work, because you got to get 64 players that now all have to work jobs, by the way. Most of us, in the scene, especially North America, are not fortunate enough to play. We're not salaried. We don't make money on a monthly basis. So you have a lot of people that work a 9 to 5, come home and play scrims. They don't want to put their effort into trying to build a league just for it to be shot down again in the future.
I think you're right. Like, for example, even casting. Again, I work half 8 to 5 p.m. I go home, I go to the gym, I play sports. Then I start casting at midnight to like 3 or 4 a.m. and get up in the morning and go to work again. And I know for players, it's the exact same for most of you, especially for the guys that are based in EU that are playing in NA, or even the guys that are based in OCE. We have a couple of Australians playing in Americas as well. So you're mixing up all those time zones. I think, Roth, that I would 100% be down to being involved in that league and helping create it if the budget was there and we could do it. But look, I think we're We're flogging a dead horse, I think's the saying that you go there. So let's go have a bit of fun, right? Do you guys have a pen and paper close by any chance?
No, but I can grab one if you want.
PiXeL, could you get a pen and paper?
I don't have one. I don't think I could.
No?
But wait, I could do something else.
Oh no.
Right. Oh,
All right, let me see if I have a pen and paper. One sec, I'll be right back.
you're gonna love this. PiXeL, it's just the two of us now for a second. Mm-hmm.
Second, I'm doing something high tech now.
I'm worried. I'm worried at what you're going to do, PiXeL. It's you.
No. Don't be.
So basically, PiXeL, before Roth gets back, what we're going to do is we're going to get you guys to write your 4 teammates, you and your 3 teammates, and I'm going to ask you questions, and you're going to put up which teammate is the most likely.
Please don't ask me to write words.
Yeah, you're writing your teammates, Roth. Oh,
What? I'm doing what?
What I want you to do is write yourself, Sharp, PiXeL, and Paige on 4 separate pieces of paper, and I'm going to ask you guys questions, and you're going to just show me the piece of paper as to which one of the players is most likely to do these things.
Oh, okay, hold on.
PiXeL's gone. He's gone. Look, he's gone to the ether.
No. I'm still here. Don't worry. I should. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. So, are you ready?
Bro, how did you do that?
He's PiXeL. He's magic.
ready. Indeed.
So, basically, first question.
Jesus.
Let me know when you're ready, Roth.
Yeah, I'm just writing the names, but my handwriting's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Should have had my wife do this for me.
I haven't written a thing in years. My handwriting is beyond nasty at this point.
All right, I'm sorry, it's terrible,
So,
but I'm good.
question 1. Which of your teammates is most likely to troll in a 3 versus 1?
In a 3v1?
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy. Is it backwards?
Nope,
Nah.
you're good, and I can tell who PiXeL me. Right.
I'll fix it.
Yeah, next question.
hmm
Which of your teammates is most likely to fall asleep and miss a practice or scrims?
I'll just leave it. Can I leave chat? Is it all gonna be like those type of questions?
They're going to be a bit like that. Okay.
I'll just leave him here for now. I just believe.
Right. Which one of your teammates is most likely to rage quit a game?
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah, probably. I've seen the clips. I have receipts.
No. Here's receipts, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You think I'm gonna
what
rage
usually
quit a game?
happens- I wouldn't rage quit. I never rage quit the game, but I gently pet my keyboard. So that's the reason I also. That's the also reason why I ordered a new one for PGS2 because I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Missing
see
a
it.
couple of keys.
Yeah.
But it's always, you get into those situations. I had one in south of Hacienda Compound in the concrete
Yeah.
where I was fighting 2 or 3 Turkish teams. I got 7 kills after being only a duo. And I missed, literally just left the last guy 1 HP. I was so mad. I got 7 kills from almost a 0 pointer.
Mhm.
And I got so mad that I pet my keyboard gently.
Pat your keyboard gently. Yeah,
One of
that's
the
what that
keys just
sounded like in
flew
that
across
clip.
the it flew across the entire room, and then I had one fight with Liquid, where I knocked 3 of them. It was Maxi alone against me.
Mhm.
I already hit him before. I was like, this is gonna be easy.
No, wait, now
fight,
I need an explanation. No, now I'm offended.
Yeah.
No,
Why is
listen.
it me?
No, but listen, I wouldn't rage quit. I only put my keyboard. So your statement is wrong. I think it's right.
But did you only put my name because I put your name? Is the real question.
No.
because I went first.
You would. I feel like you would rage quit.
I can't afford to
You're the
rage quit. I have to
most
tell
likely
you where to
one.
go after I die.
You're usually playing with mute, so you're not listening in a way.
Right.
That's funny.
So, speaking of breaking things, right? I have a friend who went through a lot of controllers back in the day. Like, I mean, he would go through like a controller a month with raging. I'll never forget it. He reformed, right? He reformed himself. He was like, right, I'm not going to break any controllers anymore. He was playing a game of FIFA, and he lost. So I was in the room when this happened. He grabbed the controller, and he was going to throw it at the wall, but he stopped and turned and threw it at the bed. And whatever way the controller hit the bed, it bounced back and hit his TV and broke his TV and the controller.
Ooh, wow, that's crazy.
That's why I only gently pat my
That's
keyboard.
wild. That's wild.
Right. Next question. Which of your teammates is most likely to deafen on voice comms during a game?
I don't think anybody would,
No?
to be honest.
No, I don't
Yeah,
think
I think we all treat this too much as a job to
Yeah.
like deafen and get upset and not just try to help.
That's good, because when I did this with some more 6 players, they had teammates that they were going to call out. Right.
I would just drop the in-ears, and pretend that I'm there.
Pretend you're there. I'll be like, Pixel, can you watch? Huh?
Right. Which of your teammates is most likely to leak something?
Leak something. Oh, that's easy. He's already done it to me. Yeah. Mhm.
Is this just the Sharp Show? Is this?
It's just a sharp show. Yeah.
I've
He leaked my password online.
Did he?
I don't remember.
okay,
Yeah,
then sharp.
I don't know. Yeah, he leaked my password online on stream. We were drinking after one of our events, and he needed to like use my account to play with us ranked. So I gave him my account, and like 5 minutes later, he messaged me and goes, "Dude, I accidentally said it online." I'm like, "What the?"
Bro.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Right. If you guys won PGS2, who's the most likely to blow all the money first?
Simple, it's simple. Port.
Yeah.
I
Love a board.
I don't know. I don't agree with you. I actually think it's well. I don't even know if it's
Hey,
sharp anymore
hey,
because honestly,
Poker.
oh, true. I change.
Paige. It's the first bit
Yeah.
of it's the first bit of love Paige has gotten this whole time.
I change. That's a good point. Mm-hmm. That's solid.
Right.
I didn't think about that.
If you were to get lost with one of your teammates, whether it be in any city, without your phone, which of them is most likely to actually find your way back home?
Ooh.
Can I put myself?
Yeah, you can. Just go.
Okay, that's me.
Do you have a sonar?
That's-
Like, are you one of those people who just like, yeah, I'm going
Try
to
to-
walk in this direction and I'm going to end up where I need to be?
I think he's too friendly.
Yeah?
I think he would be able to communicate with people and find a way back to where he needs to go. Where I don't like people.
I just wouldn't get lost in the first place. I have a GPS, right?
Yeah. Right. I'm trying to think of another couple of good ones I can give you guys before we go on. Right. Well, I can't ask you one about the passwords because you've already spoken about Sharp leaking them before. So I am going to go for the... It's game 6 on scrims. Who's the most likely to just try to die to go home and just wrap up the night early? You're going to say Sharp. It's going to be Sharp again, is it?
I think it's. I actually think it's. Did you put Ovis?
I did.
No, that's great. That's great.
I had to.
think I know scrims are too troll in game 6 to really think I have any value to learn out of it. So.
Who in your team's got the best aim?
Oh, dude, come on, man. Like.
Okay, what guns?
Yeah. Wait. What are we talking about
Right.
here? There's parameters.
DMRs first.
DM.
Oh, DMRs first.
DMR.
Yeah, I would agree. I would actually agree with you.
For the memes.
Okay.
Wow.
Right.
It's
That's
bad.
fucked up. You trying to break my confidence 3 weeks before an event? That's wild.
Next one. Who is most likely to troll or throw in a comp game trying to get a crate?
Oh.
Jesus Christ, that was so simple. Wait, what?
What? You know how many
He's-
times I've died for no reason trying to get a crate and I'm like,
I've-
oh, I'm dead.
I've seen it. I've seen it in the
Oh,
past.
It's the Americanos doing that, not the European players.
We're
Right.
greedy, man.
Right. It's phase 5. You got to cross the bridge. You know it's being camped. Who are you not letting drive? Honestly, this whole thing has just been sharp.
I have a question. Like, are you picking on Sharp? Like, I think those questions are directly aimed at Sharp.
That is
I
funny.
don't like it.
That is funny.
Or he doesn't like it, probably.
He'll be alright.
Right.
I mean, he has to.
Most likely to miss the flight to PGS. All right. I need to stop this game. Poor Sharp is going to watch this back, and he's going to be like, "It has just been 15 minutes of trolling me." So, you know what? Right now that we're having a bit of fun, Pixel. Obviously, you're someone that the community knows loves to have fun, right? You know, you're one of them people that you just can't take serious at any point. So, I want to know what got you into comp. Like, what, you know, when it comes to not even PUBG, just in general, what was it about gaming that kind of made you think, I'm pretty good at this, I'm going to give it a shot?
You mean PUBG or esports as a general?
Mm-hmm.
Esports in general.
I have no idea. I was just playing League for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nobody does that. Nobody plays League for fun,
right?
Pixel.
I was back in the days. I don't know how. But
Yeah.
now when I start League, I'm literally just in the champ select. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm here to suffer. Jesus Christ, get me out.
I played one game of League, and my friend was like, "I'll play mid." Okay, I'll play. What does that mean? Yeah, just go play mid. You'll have lots of fun. No, I didn't. I didn't have fun.
No, you cannot have fun. Definitely not on mid, because you get camped there. But yeah, I was just playing League for fun. I think I was like around gold/platinum back in the days, and I was having 70% win rate. I was just vibing, you know. I wasn't tryharding the game. I wasn't even playing ranked. I was just playing normal games, doing some trolley shit with Blitzcrank and other, well, trolley champions. And then I saw a couple tournaments. I was like talking with people in school as well. You know, they were playing League as well. And at one point, I just thought, well, they are diamonds. They're challengers. The people I'm watching, not the schoolmates, unfortunately. I want to try it as well. You know, is it hard? Is it easy? So suddenly I hit diamond in like 1 month or two. Then I hit master with 70% win rate, and I started like getting into the comp scene, or not comp scene, but competitive environment where people actually try hard every minute. You know, every minute matters. If there's possibility that we lose in League, it means insta FF. You know, if there's a chance that we lose FF, why should you waste time? It's a bad mentality there, though.
Yeah.
So suddenly I started playing League. I got into first Czech tournaments, and well, since then I started enjoying playing games more and more. Let's be honest, it's just, I don't know, it's a different feeling when you play the games to have fun, and suddenly there's just the urge to improve, you know, every game you play, because then you see differently. Every time you start the game, you're thinking about what to improve instead of, oh, can I throw a guy from the cable car in PUBG? I mean, I still do that, but not as often.
Yeah. And
so yeah, it was League.
How often did you do it? If you do it all the time still, like I really want to know what was more than what it is now.
Now I would throw one guy out of 4. You know, I wouldn't throw myself obviously, so 1 out of 3. But back in the days, I would probably throw all of them. I would even throw the enemy. I would just knock the enemy, carry him in, and start literally just bombing everyone down.
I love it. And were you competitive, Pixel, growing up? Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
I mean, I have a lot of siblings, so that already creates the competitive environment. And I feel like I was competitive since like young age. At 3 or 4 years, I was playing ice hockey, and literally just like looking at others, they would be like, "Oh, you can skate as well. You know, that's nice." But I would be like, "Okay, how can I improve? Just try to be faster, better." It was slightly annoying because then you just don't enjoy the sport as much, you know, and especially at young age when you've got any competition, they just let anyone play. Let's be honest, like you don't let this kid not to play the tournament or not to try to score just because he's not the best. And that's something I hated because I don't want to lose. Even when I was like 6-7 years old, I was like, just hey coach, put me in. Like I'll score for you, but that guy will not. Please, like it's gonna be harsh, but don't put him in. I would be that type of guy. I was kind of annoying.
Do you think that all competitive esports players and just sports players in general have that mindset from a young age, or do you think that it's something that you don't need?
Um, I don't feel like you need it. It's also for me, it's also a bad character trait, or at least I see it that way. Because sometimes I get into situations where you just don't want to be, because you can be slightly more not toxic, but you're not always going to be friendly. If you die because of something that like could have easily be prevented, you're just gonna be like what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
You know. You see every point in the game you could have taken, even if it's just 1 point. You're not going to be happy because you didn't get the 1 point. I feel like people are having easier time if they just don't have that, if they're not as competitive, because they just gonna be playing the game, enjoying it no matter what's happening. And also bad games don't put them into the dark area as easily. Obviously, like, you have to be working on the mental, but it's easier for them than, for example, for me, I would say.
Yeah. What about you, Roth? Were you competitive growing up? I get the feeling it's a big yes.
I'm competitive now.
Yeah.
I don't agree with what you said, Pixel. I don't agree with that. I don't think it's a bad character trait to have in terms of, I think in order to be successful in anything you do, especially in a sport or an esport, you have to be competitive. If you look at all the best competitors in a lot of the sports ever, you look at a Michael Jordan, we use Mamba mentality when you talk about Kobe Bryant, if you look at like the Cristiano Ronaldos, the Messis, like, your best football players, the Tom Brady's in American football, every single one of them, no matter what happens when it goes wrong, they strive to be better. And that's one of my favorite things about you is like, you'll bug me in the middle of the night and be like, hey, can you make me a custom game? I just want to go around for a couple hours and can I do this or can I do that? I've had a lot of teammates that don't have that, and it drives you insane when you don't have teammates that have that. And that's something on our team. Everybody strives to be the best. And I think that's why we'll end up succeeding in the long run. But there are a lot of players in esports that don't have that they've never really worked hard for. You can tell, and this is not a knock, but they haven't worked hard for anything. They haven't had a job. They haven't felt what it's like to, go work a 9 to 5 and have to pay a bill. And so they're not willing to overcome adversity and work through the hard times, and they give up. And for me, I'm not okay with people that give up. Like, I mean, if we gave up, we wouldn't be where we are today. If we after day 1 said, oh, we got 12, we're too far behind, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation or flying on a flight. So I don't think it's possible to succeed in any esport without having that drive. And I don't think it's a toxic trait if you're upset that you've had a bad game, because I think in order to get upset, that means you care enough to be willing to improve.
Yes. I probably phrase it wrongly, but I meant to this level, because there's obviously a different level of competitiveness, and I don't know, just my level. I'm almost never happy when with the results, unless we literally just win the game and play everything perfectly. I'll always see something. That's why you probably know already, Rod, that even if we have literally just a win, I still point something out. Like, I will not be talking about it 10 minutes, but I'll say, okay, but this situation, we won the game, but we were kind of gifted, or we won only because they played bad. Yeah. Because that's usually how we outplay people. They just have to make a mistake first. That's usually how it is in PUBG, because the level is just so high up, But yeah, it's just, I feel like it's just less enjoyable, for sure.
So,
but there has to be some competitiveness in the people, of course.
Yeah. Whenever the time does come that either of you decide that you're done playing PUBG competitively, how do you want to be remembered? So I'll go to you first, Pixel. Like, how do you want the community to remember you whenever you do finish playing PUBG?
Kind of as, I don't know, like trolley guy who can play the game.
Yeah.
Simple as
You've
that.
already got that. People already like that about you. Yeah.
I mean, I just like to enjoy people or entertain them. That's why I was streaming a lot. I've always liked those, breaks between the tournaments. I don't know why, but I'm not streaming during or even past tournaments for a month. Don't know why. It is what it is. But I really like to entertain people, and it's nice to go into NA tournament and just spam EU better than NA, and then go to EU tournament and do the same, but do the opposite.
Well, I heard NA it was better than EU today in scrims according to Roth anyway, so we'll keep that one. But what about you, Roth? How do you want people to think about you whenever you're done playing the game? Because obviously in every esport, particularly ones that have gotten as big as PUBG have, Rainbow Six, you know, CS:GO. There's players that leave a legacy, and when you talk about the people, go, oh yeah, I remember. What do you want people to remember about you whenever you're done playing PUBG?
I kind of just want to like have kind of like just the respect of being like one of the hardest workers. I think it's invaluable to me to like, you know, I've built every team I've ever had, and you know, so for me it's like nothing's ever come easy. I haven't been granted the opportunity of just falling into a team that was already well built. So I just want to be, you know, known kind of for like, you know, never giving up. I think it could have been very easy just to back down and be like, oh, I'm done, like it's just too hard. But you know, I love the game, we love the game, and I just want to kind of be known as, hopefully by the end, a champion, because that's what our goal is, right? So just one of the few that just worked their ass off to get to where they got to.
And I suppose for you, you've been this close. I forget that I've made my camera so wide. You've been this close to being a champion at the international level. So for you, you know what it felt like.
It's ingrained in my head.
Exactly.
I remember I was the booth above Sonics. So and you know, obviously for us it was a bittersweet.
Yeah.
You know, we made a good amount of money off of it, and you know, we weren't picked to be anything but 32nd. Both times we've been, you know, probably, who knows what people will pick us to be now. But you know, just watching them celebrate, it's something that I know for me would be a very emotional thing. You know, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and you know, I've worked a lot and very hard to get where we are today, because it's not one person, it's a group effort. And you know, watching them celebrate is something that I just want for us more than, you know, I want for myself. I want to have every one of us be, you know, a champion at some point.
Yeah, I think one of the toughest things I've ever seen. So, Roth, you obviously know Siege a little bit. I don't know what you know about competitive Siege, Pixel, but there's a team called Team Liquid in Brazil, and well, everyone knows who Liquid are. But in Siege, they've kept the core team together for years. You know, Nesk and Palu are like the dream team, arguably two of the best players to ever play the game, but they've not won anything yet on the international stage, and they've lost 2 finals now in the last 6 months, like 2 international finals, and I've been in the audience and I've seen them, and I don't think I've ever come as close to crying looking at someone else upset in my life than seeing the way that those players felt. And I assume that's something similar to how you felt as well. You know, yes, you've come in the top 3, top 4 in the world, but at the same time, it's like you were this close to being there. So, for you, Pixel, then, do you have that kind of drive as well? Like, are you really looking forward to making a statement at this event? Like, do you feel like it would answer a lot of questions if you were to go out there and become a champion now?
Oh yeah, of course. I was like kind of in the same shoes as Roth. I was second on the Czech championship, right? No, it's not the same, but
it's the same, bro.
Yeah, it's no, but yeah, I mean, it would be definitely nice to win. I want to win. We want to win. I feel like there is not a single player that would say anything else, but it's probably the drive. Yeah, just winning. You know, being top 2 is probably the drive, but top 1 is the dream. Like that just has to happen. You know, one day at least. I hope.
I mean, the money's nice, right? But only a handful of people can say they've ever won. Yeah. Like, and for me, like, I don't know, my whole life I've just been. It may be not a toxic thing, but it's something that I love my dad for. You know, if you're not first, you're last. You know,
Ricky
and
Bobby.
Obviously, what?
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, every time that's where I got it from. Every time I made a mistake, whether I was like, you know, playing a sport growing up, I could have the best game in the world. He goes, but what about those 3 things you did wrong? How could you improve on those 3 things? So for me, it's like, you know, I have a chip on my shoulder, especially in the PUBG scene. There's a lot of people that said I can't do it. So I want to show them that I can, because I know that this team can do whatever, you know, we have the potential to do a lot of damage in this league. So I'm excited. And, you know, I think by the end of my career, I will be remembered as someone who worked hard to get a championship.
Yeah, well, we're not going to get into it on this podcast because I don't think it's the time or place, but you and I know that there's an issue with false narratives being put out about some players as well at big events. So we're not going to touch on it anymore, but I think as a viewer, as a fan, I think you should always just watch how a team plays and, you know, keep up to date with players on social, and you'll get an idea of what they're like and the effort that they put in. So as we're coming towards the end, I think when we wrap up in a few minutes, I want to ask you a couple more questions. And I want to talk about the good people on the scene, because you know what? In PUBG, there's a lot of really good people, from admins all the way through to players to coaches to talent on screen. Who are the kind of people that you admire a lot inside of PUBG? And as I said, it could be anybody from, you know, tournament admins all the way through to players, on-air talent, coaches, anything. Like, who do you admire, Roth?
I've always I've had a lot of respect for people like Gunner. I think he works very hard for what he does, and I think that shows going from SDK and the success they had to Sonics and helping them refine their identity in a way. Not saying anything against those players, but it's very hard once you've hit the top to like stay motivated to keep pushing, right? And they had their obviously everyone's probably seen the video about how like they didn't agree on whether to hot drop or not to, and he came in and he tried to help them like light a fire under their ass, I would say. Purdy Curdy, I think he's someone that speaks his mind. I always respect and appreciate that. I think that he's a genuine individual. And honestly, I even think people like at the end of the day, like ex-teammates that, you know, maybe we haven't always had like the best experience with, like, you know, whether it was like a kickstart. I've watched him grow and myself grow, and to have a better like connection with and be able to talk to more cordially since those days is like, I think that's growth, and I really find that maturity, because you don't find a lot of maturity in a lot of the players in PUBG. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind closed doors that I'm not going to get into, but like, you know, that it's just not, I don't respect. And so I respect those people that are able to come around and talk more openly and be able to speak their mind and also still be themselves.
Yeah. What about you, Pixel? Anyone in the scene that you like really admire or get on with?
First of all, my teammates. They earned the respect for not kind of being like full of my shit already. It's been couple weeks, couple months. No, but definitely the admins, EU admins especially. Jesus, the amount of work they're putting not only into scrims but the Discord, all the systems. They're trying to talk with PUBG. They're trying to remain the quality not only of the scrims but also of the Discord itself. You know, so there's no like people trolling. You always know where to look if you need to find something. They're also kind of active on PUBG Reddit. There's so much they're doing. It's actually insane. People like Otto, for example, he's just new to being an admin on PLH, but he's working on other projects. Like he's admin on EU scrims, he's admin or host on PLH scrims. He's the host and one of the creators of Victory tournaments. Jesus Christ, like how many things can he do, you know? And I know that that's only a small portion of what he's doing, and it's insane to me. Also, like all the streamers, especially, or like now I'm talking about casters, because they're not getting anything from the scrims. It is what it is. People don't even know like when and who to watch because there is not a schedule. Just like I said, there could be on Monday. You know, every time you go to Twitch PUBG. Now you need to go on Twitter. You need to follow all of them. Hope they're gonna show on your wall. Like, you're just gonna miss out on so many streams, but they're still doing it. They're still putting their hours, and yeah, I definitely admire them. And when it comes to like players, besides my teammates again, Shoot to Kill. I'm still like a big fan of them since, I don't know, 2019, since I started watching content in NPL. People like Ibe. I don't know. I was so shocked when he got kicked out of Liquid, because he just always seemed like the glue of the team. You know, no matter what happens, if the shit hits the fan, he's gonna be the one who knows how to phrase every problem or every idea the other players have. So there's always issues in teams because one guy, you know, thinks and or like thinks about stuff differently. He has different opinion, and people just don't phrase it correctly, so people don't feel attacked. You know, you just use one bad word or like wrong word. The intention is not there, but suddenly the other person feels attacked. And I feel like he was always the person to, well, stop the fire. Whenever there would be a problem, he would be the stop to it. So that was kind of surprising to me that he was the one to get kicked.
If I could add off that real quick, just because I thought we were excluding teammates, by the way. I thought that was a given, okay? But I do want to, like, just, I don't know how many people know, because it's not, like, as open as, like, a Gunner or a Trevor, but, like, for us, like, GoBang, you know, it's off of what Pixel says in regards to, you know, people having personalities and discussions and he's a very good player coach in terms of like I think he deserves more respect than he gets because it gets overshadowed by the players. But you know, we're all very opinionated. Now I'm a very opinionated person. Paige is a very opinionated person. You know, Pixel Sharp not as much. He's more reserved, but he'll say what he needs to when he does. But the way Gobang like just gives us his time every day and just is able to help us sort through those issues and shut down something before it gets out of hand, because we're all competitive, like we said. You know, you're gonna have those emotions and that flair, and like somebody's gonna get a little upset that something happened or that I didn't listen to them in a key moment or they didn't listen to me. And like he's very good at making sure that we remember why we're where we are and how much we care about each other too, because I think that gets lost sometimes when your emotions get a little high from the game. And I think that's something that just is like is worth having other people know too, because I think that's a very important thing.
So no, I like the answers you gave, because there's a lot of people in the scene that don't get the love they deserve, and I think coaches fall into that category. You know, there was the tweet that went out before it was a PGS1 or PGC where the tweet went out where it was like, you know, what do coaches actually bring to the team, and it was like, that's the wrong opinion. Coaches, you know, a coach can change the complete fortunes of a team. You know, you see it with Sonics. I think, you know, obviously, if you know, you look at the way STK had that boost, you know, whenever they made the changes with Gunner, I think that was a change that suited both teams really, really well. But all in all, I like the answers that you've given. So to finish up, I've got one last question for you guys before you go. Well, two, but they're short. Any nerves going into this trip? Any nerves about flying? Any nerves about traveling to a different part of the world? Or is it just excitement and are you ready to go?
Oh, you.
Yeah, I'll start. So for me, it's just excitement.
Uh-huh.
I want to go there first. I hope they're going to be practice room. If there's not, I don't know.
There's practice rooms and they have aircon.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Thank you. So I can go sleep and be happy. But yeah, just go there, practice, and I don't think there will be any stress. I feel like we have been already to lands. I have not been to that many. I mean, I've been always watching, you know, from the background. So, but yeah, I don't think there'll be any stress when it comes to any of our players. I will just go enjoy it and frag out.
Yeah, I think from me, same as well. You know, it's all business at this point. You know, we did the hard part. We qualified. We had to go over that little hurdle like we talked about earlier. And once we're past that, like, you know, we have so much experience on this team that I can't wait. I'm excited to get to meet these guys. You know, I live 5 minutes from Sharp, so I spend a lot of time with Sharp. But, you know, getting to meet Pixel and Paige and Gobang and, you know, even Maji as our sub, it's just going to be a good time. We have good vibes. So I don't really think that for us, it just comes down to, you know, staying confident. And I know we will be, so.
Yeah.
I want to add, I'm looking forward to see how other regions going to react to doors obstructed. I really want to see it. I know it's most likely going to get released after the PGS2, so it's going to be fun seeing people are just knocking on the doors, screaming, "Door's stuck! Door's stuck!"
Yeah, I don't think anybody ever has ran into a door that they can't open, except for when they're around you. I don't know how many people have messaged me going, "I hate fighting you guys because the door is fucking blocked."
There's been one team, we just blocked the doors on military on one of the like C blocks.
Yeah.
And there's just no way to get in because it's metal doors. You cannot shoot them, and the only other ways to get in is vault. So I was literally just proning below the window, having the doors locked, and the only way to get in is to vault over me. So there was no way. And then I saw in the chat, you go to fight FF, the first thing you see, doors obstructed.
Yeah.
So I want to see how they're gonna react to this.
Are you going to change it from EU rats or you know, LG rats now to just FF rats? Is that the way it's going to be over in Rio?
Oh, we don't rat.
This is not the plan. This is just you know, I'm actually using bicicleta in the open and then using in the house as well. I'm letting everyone know that I'm there. It's loud. Like the bike, you can hit it on 100 meters distance, so everyone should know that I'm there.
So they should be scared when they hear the bike.
They
The
don't know that
bicicleta.
They just don't know that they cannot open the doors.
Yeah.
They find out when it's too late.
Well, look, you guys, I'm sure you're going to have an incredible time. Rooting for you to do well, obviously. I think one of these things that people always say is, oh, you know, casters can't be biased. I'm always under the mindset that casters can get on with everybody. Casters can be fans of all the teams. And, you know, obviously, Roth, my career as a caster, I've known you most of the time. So I really want to see you guys go in and put in a good performance. I hope you enjoy all of the non-alcoholic beverages that you'll be able to have over in Saudi Arabia and you have a great time. But look, I'll get this out as soon as possible. Best of luck at PGS2, and can't wait to see what you guys do.
Hey, one last thing for you. I just want to say, like, for the people that watch, you did an insanely good job with the R6 cast. I know you didn't get to go,
thanks.
but like, you know, I do watch a lot of R6, so I was interested in some of the games, and you know, you deserve every opportunity you get. So you put as just much work in, and the things that we do here, these interviews, the you know, this podcast or whatever, like, yeah, nobody else really reaches out the way you do, and I think you deserve all the credit you get, and you should get a lot more as well. So thank you.
Thanks. No, I appreciate it.
Also, another thing, if any other caster is looking, please, this is like the type of content that has to be there. Like whenever I'm watching any cast, if I don't see the interview in between the games, it's boring. It is what it is. Like I'm surprised that PUBG is not doing it. There should be something.
I've
like,
offered
from time to time. I think there was like in NA there used to be interviews in between the games, but that would be one in between 6 games. Nice, that's amazing. Like, what do you get to know about the people if you see them for 5 minutes? Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. That's why I keep saying that, you know, players should all be creating content themselves too, and, you know, just building your own brand. But again, as I said, if I ever get the opportunity to work at the highest level in PUBG, you can be sure I'll be pushing for more content like this to get out there. It's the same as Siege. Look, whenever I'm working. To me, this is a dream to get to do this, even if I am doing it for no money, which I am. It's just so much fun. Look, I'm 30 years old. My aim is gone. I'm not as good as I used to be. This is the closest I'm going to get to pro play. So, look, we'll enjoy it. But like I said, best of luck. If you haven't, guys, at home, please make sure to give Roth and PiXeL a follow on their socials, whether that be Twitter, Twitch, just to keep up to date with what they're doing. I expect there to be some friendly fire jerseys being given away to the community, because I'm sure with your new logo, that thing is going to look sick. So I better get the opportunity to be able to buy a friendly fire jersey. I'm just saying that here and now. But anything else you guys want to say to wrap up?
You want to go first?
You can go first.
I just want to say thank you to you again, but also to our community, like everyone that comes into, whether it's my stream, PiXeL's, just, you know, we see the amount of friendly fire emotes spammed in the Twitch chat. It's pretty close to, whether it's second or third, it's up there with some of the top teams. We have an insane amount of support, and it makes our job a lot easier knowing that other people are supporting us through the good and the bad. So thank you.
Yeah, I have to thank you and PUBG fans, because I'm surprised they're still sticking to the game. You know, it's hard. And well, we have to be grateful for pretty much what they're doing, you know. It's a big struggle just watching the games.
Oh, well, look, I think everyone will say it. A lot of love for you guys. Best of luck going into the finals. Best of luck in Riyadh. Safe travels. And as I said, we'll be talking again soon. But I think that's that for us. So I'll see you guys later. Take care.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.